it's Shara from Woodshop Diaries, and today I'm going to show you how I built this guitar stool / guitar stand from some scrap plywood and about an hour's worth of work. So if you're ready to get building and playing, let's go. Our tiny garage apartment doesn't have a lot of extra space. So when I started thinking of a way to make a guitar stand that didn't take up a ton of space, I also started thinking about how to make it multi-purpose and also allow me a small space to store my music books. So this simple scrap plywood stand worked perfectly and came together really quick. Before we get started, I'd like to thank my friends at Build Something for sponsoring this project. I've got the free printable plans available on buildsomething.com, and I've linked it directly in the description below. So to start this project, I browsed my shop for some 3/4 inch plywood scraps. I love building with plywood, so I typically have lots of random offcuts and leftover pieces to pick from. I found a leftover panel of birch plywood in my plywood cart and a few pieces of leftover hickory plywood in my scrap bin. I cut the large panel down on the miter saw first, then took these pieces over to the table saw and ripped them down to a consistent width of 12 inches. From these pieces, I cut 2 stool sides, a top, and 2 small pieces for the guitar stand on the miter saw. I sanded these pieces before putting it together. And I also wasn't 100% sure how deep to make the section that my guitar will go into, so after everything was sanded, I kind of dry fit the pieces together and brought out my guitar to test fit. It seemed to fit okay, so I was ready to move on. I assembled this project using pocket holes and screws, so first I drilled 3/4 inch pocket holes along both ends of the short piece that the guitar will sit down into, and into the top ends of the stool sides using my Craig pocket hole jig. Then I used pocket hole screws to attach the stool sides into the top like shown. Once that was together, I dug around the scrap pile some more and found 2 small pieces to use as a shelf and under the seat. I drilled pocket holes into the ends of these pieces and installed them into the stool base with pocket hole screws. The top seat support here was basically just for looks, so it's totally optional, and the shelf here at the bottom gave a little bit of extra support to keep the sides together, but it's also a great place to store my music books. Once the stool was put together, I laid out the guitar stand pieces and attached them together first, then attached that whole section to the bottom of the stool. I thought at this point I was finished, but when I brought my guitar out again to test fit, I noticed that it tended to rock side to side and it wouldn't stand on its own. So I ended up cutting 2 small pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, just some small scrap pieces, and screwed them into the bottom of the guitar stand on the edges. This helped with the rocking and allowed the guitar to stand on its own in the stand. Now I'll probably go back at some point and add some felt or some sort of padding along these edges to protect the guitar, but for now, I just wanted to play. And that's how I built this super simple scrap plywood guitar stand and stool. So if you're interested in building one of these simple stands for your own guitar, be sure to head over to Build Something for the printable plans. I hope you've enjoyed this super easy scrapwood project, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy building!